Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a career reading for water signs. So, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If you have any of those in your big three, or you just vibe with water signs, this is going to be a career reading for you. Okay? As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Let's see what's going on for you, water signs. I go live reading tarot on Twitch Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 to 8 Eastern Time at night, not AM, and Saturday from 4 to 6 Eastern Time as well. If you would like to catch me there, I also have a Discord community you can join. Let's see what's going on for you, Pisces. I keep wanting to say Pisces. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Let's get into this. Water signs. Let's see what's going on with your career. Okay. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we've also got the Ten of Swords here. So bottom of the deck is always our challenge because it represents what we're not seeing, what we're not really looking at. And water signs, it feels like what we're not looking at is... There's almost like a preparation for some sort of exit here. It does feel like with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, whatever you guys are currently doing in your career, it feels like it speaks to your inner child. Like, I feel like this is something that gives back to your inner child, but at the same time, I feel like with that Five of Pentacles, it may not be giving to the adult version of you. You know, this is like you're kind of devoting energy to something that maybe your inner child really likes that you're doing, but Five of Pentacles can also talk about money. Maybe financially it's not giving back to you the way that you want it to. But let's see here. We're doing a past, present, future spread. Let's get into it. Here in the past, we've got the Queen of Swords, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. It feels like here in the past, whatever was going on for you guys career-wise, it was a lot of, I almost want to say standing up to people. Also, this is kind of random. I just saw this Scary Movie 3 specifically. I just heard really loud, Cindy, the TV's leaking. You could have seen Scary Movie 3. Maybe your name is Cindy. But that's interesting. But yeah, it feels like in the past here, there's this general feeling of like, okay, I'm standing up for myself. It feels almost like with that Queen of Swords and the Seven of Wands, there may be people that disagreed with your choices here in the past about where to go with your career. And it feels like you stood up to this. Like there's a lot of determination here in the past as well. Like, thank you. One of my guides is saying some of you used spite as a jumping off point here. I tell all my clients, and I also tell my collective, we can absolutely use spite as a jumping off point. That is okay. We just need to make sure that we don't operate from that place of spite for very long, right? Ew, yeah. Queen of Swords twice, but this time the clarifier, she's in the reverse. Yeah, your Queen of Swords is clarified by the Queen of Swords in the reverse here. The decks that I'm using today are the Anime Tarot and the Gentle Heart Tarot. So with that Queen of Swords in the reverse clarifying the Queen of Swords upright, it does feel like you probably went up against someone that was, the word I actually just heard was quite snarky. This doesn't have to be, this is a feminine air energy. So obviously gender and energy have no place with one another. Anyone can be feminine or masculine, but this is going to be someone, a Queen of Swords can be very sharp with their tongue. You know, they say something because they know that it's going to land and kind of hurt you. You know, it is a very rough and tumble energy. So it feels like you were up against someone that, like, the example my guides are giving me is, let's say you wanted to be an astronaut, you know, so random, but also so cliche. You know, this is someone telling you, oh no, you know, Cindy, let's roll with Cindy. Let's say your name is Cindy. Oh, you know, Cindy, that's like really stupid. You'll never succeed with that. You know, it's very abrasive, and I feel like what you dealt with here. Yeah, Page of Diamonds, clarifying your Seven of Wands. It feels like you were always defending yourself around every corner with this person. This could be multiple people. It doesn't have to be just one person, but it feels like you were always standing up for your beliefs here, always standing up for, well, I love what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep doing it. You know, I'll give you a real world example. I used to be a hairdresser. A lot of people in my family, when I became a hairdresser, were like, oh, that's a hobby career. You know, you'll never make it far in that, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And it feels like you, water signs, like you might have dealt with this as well, and then had to do like a lot of standing up for yourself. Because on the Nine of Pentacles, it's clarified by the Page of Cups. Like I said, there's really strong inner child energy here for some of you. I feel like your career, whatever you're doing for your career right now, it fulfills your inner child in a way that the way I'm hearing this is like that it's hard for you to explain, but it's hard for people to understand as well. But this does kind of feel like it feels really positive, at least here in the past it was. So I'm interested. Let's go into the present here and see what's going on. What's making you feel like it's not giving back to you anymore? Because you've got the Star, you've got the Six of Wands at the center, which we love to see. The center of a 9-card reading is the soul of the reading. And Six of Wands is the soul of your reading is victory. But then you've got the Seven of Swords here. So this is like distrust. Seven of Swords is like lying, cheating, stealing. And with the Star, you may work in the public eye. The Star, it does talk about healing, but the Star can also talk about like being perceived for your work, you know, like people kind of watching you. Let's see. What's going on here? What's going on for you guys? The name Page just came through. Page could be your name. Page could also mean like turn the page, but I feel like it's more so a name for someone, Page. Okay, thank you. You could also do, how do I describe this? You could have went to school for social work. That's how this is coming through. Like you may be in a career where you're helping people, social work kind of energy. Interesting. Yeah, clarifying your Star, you've got the Four of Crystals, which is, this is not what it means, but I heard confidence really loud. Four of Wands means commitment, but my guides gave me confidence. So maybe you had a lot of confidence in this commitment, you know, with that Four of Wands. Maybe this is something you've been doing for a while now. I also just heard burnout. Maybe it is the burnout, you know? I feel like for some of you here, it does feel like you have been kind of, the word I'm hearing is toiling, like toiling away at this. And I feel like with the Six of Wands and the clarified by the Five of Wands, there's almost like, thank you. Now my guides are clarifying it for me. Not enough victory. So there is victory here for you guys, but there is not enough victory in the way that you are looking for in this career. And I feel like that's where the downside is really leaving you. Because you're like, okay, I really love this, but you know, yeah, King of Wands, Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. It feels like a money issue for some of you. Like, it feels like you may not be getting what you deserve here. Like, you might not be adequately compensated right now. I'm going to dig a little bit further into that. Five of Cups. We're definitely not feeling like we're getting our worth here. King of Cups, Queen of Diamonds, so Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and I feel like for some of you, it's exacerbating a mother wound. The mother figure or the maternal figure could be the one that, like, kind of instilled this idea of, like, you're going to fail. Because I feel like it's kind of... It's like, or this person, the way I'm hearing is like preying on this. Like, I feel like this person could prey on you about this, like P-R-E-Y, you know, they may pick on you because of this, or they may like, I don't know. There's this weird energy here of like, they may flick the scab. I know that's a really gross visual, but that's what my guides just gave me. Like you may have this issue from childhood that's scabbed over, and this person may flick it and agitate it a little bit. Just to kind of get under your skin. But I do feel like looking at your near future here, you've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Strength in the reverse. This is hard because it feels like a little bit of how this is coming through is it may take some more time, but it does feel like eventually things would kind of stable out for you here. Like everything would get like a little bit more even keel for you here, but this ultimately boils down to whether or not you want to wait, you know, is really how this is coming across. Do you want to keep putting the effort in? Do you want to wait for that yield? Seven of Pentacles is effort versus yield. Do you want to keep pouring into someplace and waiting for it to give back to you? Because it feels like this is also taking a toll on your self-esteem right now, you know, your self-worth, Strength in the reverse. Like we're not feeling funky fresh about this. You know, we're feeling a bit, I heard exhausted. You know, we're a bit exhausted about this right now. But 10 of Diamonds, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. I feel like you know that at the end of the tunnel here, there is a lot of opportunity for growth here. Like there's a lot of, how do I say that? Like my guides are showing me this is so funny. a new branch forming on a tree. That to me feels literal. Like you might branch out and become, like, let's say you are a social worker, maybe you open up your own firm, you know, or whatever you would call a firm is like lawyer. I don't know what the social work version is. You know, it feels like there's a like literal newness will be born out of this, water signs, but it feels like it does boil down to, is it worth the effort? Is, you know, what's that old saying my guides are giving me? Was the juice worth the squeeze? That's real old. That's a grandma coming through for sure. Yeah, because on your Six of Pentacles, you've got the Three of Swords. There's almost this feeling here of like adding insult to injury. Maybe this is a boss. Maybe you have a boss that's kind of like this maternal figure. It doesn't have to be mom. It could be a boss that's kind of adding insult to injury. Like maybe because you're not making as much money as you want, maybe also having like a harsh boss figure is kind of bringing you down. Why do I feel like that's the case? Can I get a little bit more about it, please, for the water signs? Eight of Cups. I feel like I was right. Okay, some of you may be thinking about walking away from this because like the pay isn't good, the boss isn't good, and with Temperance and the Nine of Crystals, yeah, you may be in a place of like, well, how much longer do I have to really endure this? Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, you should not have to. Just because I may tell you in a reading that the future looks promising does not mean that you have to stay. Let me make that very clear. Yes, your cards look good here in the future. It looks like things are working out, but you have free will. You absolutely do not have to endure a toxic workplace just because maybe your card said it's looking better. Okay, let me make that disclaimer really loud. You know, cards are here to guide us, but they are not like laws, okay? On your last card, the Strength in reverse, you've got the Three of Wands and the Seven of Cups. It feels like some of you may be in a place of like, okay, well, where would I go? Like, what would be next for me? And with the Magician at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is a really powerful place to be because you get to decide, you know, the decision is yours, is how I'm hearing it. Like, you get to choose where the road leads you, not vice versa. Ten of Wands. I don't feel like wherever you are now, it don't feel good. Yeah, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Babe, I would branch out. I would branch out if I were you. I would definitely like look for newness. I mean, like if you stay, more power to you. Three of Cups at the bottom. There would be celebration for you. It would help you grow for sure, which is part of the path here for some of you. Like some of you will stay no matter what I tell you to do. You will stay and it will help you grow. But others of you are kind of debating, is it worth it? Is like, again, my guides are saying it literally again, is the juice worth the squeeze? Can I get one more, please? Thank you. Oh, two more. Okay. Yeah, Six of Crystals. And the Lovers. You get to choose where your victory comes in. You know, that's really what this reading is about. You get to choose whether or not you stay here. Maybe you do love social work. Maybe you love where you are. You get to choose whether or not you stay here or whether or not you go. But either route you guys go, I'm also going to tell you there's victory there for you. Okay? This is not a, like, you are glued to one route and then that's the only route that brings you victory. This is definitely a route of, like, every decision that you make does end in victory here. It's just a matter of where you want to go. But let's get to you some oracles. I'm just putting my cards away because otherwise I get a little disoriented when my desk is really messy. So I am like trying to be better about it, create better habits for myself, and clean up my cards as soon as I'm done with them. But let's get you an oracle card. Can I get an oracle? This is the Angelarium. You guys see me use this all the time. It is like my favorite oracle deck. For the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Water signs. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Can I get advice for them, please? Just one. Or two. Depends on what you give me. Okay, thank you. Interesting. Okay. All right. You guys got Chazakiel, Angel of the Mists. I feel like water signs, I feel like you guys got this in the monthly readings too, which I think is kind of funny. It's about committing, you know? Okay, I'm going to read it to you. It's also number 27 for those of you that are into numerology, but let's read. Despair creeps up slowly and seductively. The romance of sadness brings us into its embrace and shields our eyes from the light in the world. If you are drawing this card, ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Peer beyond the fog. Look for a glimmer in the distance rather than the shadows at your feet. No matter how tight the walls close, the larger world is always still out there. Okay? This is a very, very clear, like, the choice is yours kind of reading for your career right now. It does feel like you are stuck in a little bit of that, like, rock to a hard place. But I also, Chazakiel always reminds me, like, the backstory of him in the book is, like, he never fully drops from heaven, but he never fully stays in heaven. So he always lives in the in-between world. It always reminds me that, like, if I want to get out of a tween, like the in-between, I got to make a choice and I got to go. Okay? I got to pick one road. So water signs. That is your reading. That is your career reading for June, okay? If this resonated with you guys, I am new to YouTube. I would appreciate it if it resonates. If you like my style, leaving a like, maybe subscribing. Like I said, you can catch me on Twitch if you would like to interact live with me. But if not, I do post the collectives I do on Twitch here on YouTube. So that is what I have for you guys. I will leave it here. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll talk to you in the next video, okay? Bye.